I've worked at HeR Active for 7 years and 8 months, just about. Well, full-time. Before that, I was a contractor and I worked on localization and tech support and some other things. The first game I ever worked on was Curse of Blackmore Manor, but that was as localization. So it was already done and I was just going through and converting it to French.
Bonjour, ici Nancy Drew. Je suis censée vous appeler si je veux manger.
But the first game I worked on as a scripter was White Wolf Ice, Coal Creek. And I worked on the wolf, although, yeah, like getting it to react when you tell it to do stuff.
Go.
With our current technology at the time, that was quite a challenge. So alternative rock, classic rock and roll, 80s rock, and jazz music. Well, mostly I'm the master of the schedule. So if something needs to get done, then it needs to be added to the schedule, and try to dole out fairly equally what tasks need to be accomplished by who. So we've got back in our production department, which handles the creation of the knitting together of the game. So adding the sounds, putting the art together with code. I decide who does what, and try to make it as even as possible, including myself. So that's one part. Part two is actually doing the coding, actually doing the scripting. Part three is anything that needs to get done other than that, because it all falls somewhere. And usually people that are busy, you know, if I've already assigned them out a full task, then something has to get done, I'll do it. Talking to other companies like Trans Gaming, who we do our work with Mac, the Mac stuff, so any kind of interface with them. So I scripted or did game programming for the Graveyard and for the Crypt, and there was a puzzle or two that I did in there. You know, there's been a long history of fun and amazing things, but I was trying to think of one that I guess could be related to without knowing the individuals in it. So last year, I think it was last year, could have been the year before, it's hard for me to remember exactly, but there was a woodpecker right outside my corner cube, and for about 3 months it would rat-a-tat, just disturbing me all day long. And after 3 months I was like, I'm going to go insane, but we couldn't do anything about it because we live on protected wetlands here. Our complex is built on them, so they can't interfere with the woodpeckers at all. So finally they build their nest, they have their baby, and I'm like, they're being quiet. I feel like all this hard work that them and I got put through is being paid off, and they got kicked out by another bird. So they didn't even get to use the nest that they spent so long making. That bird stayed there for like 2 weeks and then just took off. It was so disappointing. Having seen this question in advance, I did a little research, and I decided that my ideal time would be 386 BCE, because that is the year that Plato founded the Academy in Athens, and it's also within 5 years of when Rome started its initial rise. And it's a great time to go, if I had a translator, mind you, because I don't speak the languages. But it would be a great time to go and see all the different cultures and how they develop differently. It would be wonderful. If I didn't have a translator, I would probably pick like the Triassic or the Jurassic and try to see some dinosaurs from a distance. I love ancient civilizations. I love decision points in history. That's why I like games so much, because they create these complex systems, and then you get to see how everything fits together and how people react to it and the different behaviors that come out of it. I don't know about crazy, because since I try everything, and a lot of things are like local to somebody. So I've had fried alligator. You know, that's not that crazy for some people. I've had chicken feet. You know, but at dim sum, it's not a big deal. And there's a lot of, you know, Asian culture and restaurants around here, so dim sum's not that big a deal. I tried a yak noodle dish from a Himalayan restaurant when I was in Denver. I also tried a side dish of grubs. That was probably the weirdest one. But they're actually not that gross, and I could see why, like in a culture where you need protein, you would do that. So currently, I just finished a cookie puzzle. That's very exciting. I think people are going to like. Testing well in our focus groups, which is always nice. In addition to that, there's 4 environments that I'm working on. Tea. Green tea, if I can. Yeah. I've in the past I've had a lot of hobbies. Mostly now I just play a ton of games. I play board games, I play video games, I play card games. I play games as often as I can.